Here. All right, welcome everybody. Week 2. We're in week 2 of the Miracle Experiment Experience, and so happy about what's already happened in week 1. Really, I even just on the call, we just had a call with the Miracle Mentors, the 2 pod leaders, the Miracle Mentors in each of the groups, and just hearing some of the miracles made me so happy about what's already happened in the first week. Now, if not a lot has happened for you, no problem. Also, that's very welcome. And applying the principles, those 3 secrets that we're applying, and listening to that track, and we're going to introduce on today's call, we're going to focus on one of those principles in depth and hear about how it really helps transform people's lives and why it's so important. And then we're going to talk about 2 of the optional activities that really we haven't done. Well, we did one time before, but we haven't done another one. This is the first time in the Miracle Experiment Experience we're ever going to do it. And it feels so ripe and so critical and so transformative and so powerful. So welcome. I want you to go ahead and just put in the chat. I know a lot of you know each other, but if you don't, I just want you to put in the chat where you're joining from today. And so cool. Bridget, you had 2 miracles today. Okay, go ahead, unmute yourself, Bridget. And while people are putting in the chat where they're joining from, why don't you go ahead and share what were the miracles that you saw today? And then I think I'm going to call on you, Rajani, as well, to share a little bit. But Bridget?
Thank you, Clint. Thank you. First of all, I had 2 miracles today. I had a dog wander up to me unexpectedly while waiting for my husband out in the car. And this dog was so friendly and loving. It's like he came out of nowhere. Unfortunately, I had no dog treats on me, so a lesson learned to always keep treats with me. The second beautiful miracle was I actually met somebody who actually met Dr. Naram 10 years ago. My husband wants to lose some weight because he's seen how well mung bean soup has helped me physically and mentally, and from overhearing the Sunday calls. So I found a local Indian store in Corning, New York, one of these grocery stores. It's a gas station with a lot of Indian food, mung beans everywhere, dal, spices. I told him how much mung bean soup had helped me physically and mentally, getting off all medications and with my IBS and PTSD. And he stated that it helped his own wife, Mr. Singh. It helped his own wife with postpartum depression, along with the medication. So thanks her, as with me, with my meditation practice and with the mung bean soup, she no longer takes medication. So then she came along and gave me a big hug, and they both were sharing wonderful memories of Dr. Naram and meeting him back in Cleveland 10 years ago. And we were just talking, and then she started talking about ghee, and I can use it on my forehead, in my belly, and my feet. And Mr. Singh just went on and on how Dr. Naram helped him with his hair 10 years ago. And he was so saddened at the loss of Dr. Naram, but he had no idea that Dr. Clint had a book out. So I've decided that I'm going to just order 5 and just keep them with me at all times. And that way I'll be able to present it to anybody if they're interested, because it was just like an automatic connection. And I guess I had a 3rd miracle today too. I just had a spontaneous hug from somebody just out of nowhere, and it was just beautiful. So
I love it. It's so beautiful. First of all, thank you. I can see that you're in such a good space. You know, miracles are really happening all the time. I don't know if you guys have read the introduction part of that the Miracle Experiment Game Journal, but it's like there's music in the room right now, and I can't hear it. But if I get a radio and I turn it to that channel, I can hear that music. And Bridget, I want to say you're attuned, and you're in that flow, and you're seeing what's there and appreciating and enjoying it. And not only you're witnessing the miracles, but you are a part of the miracle. I know for sure that family is going to be talking about you, and we should get them on a Sunday call where they can share their story, and then we can hear from them, and then the magnitude and the ripples of the love go out. One of the subtitle of the Facebook group, which you all invited to join, and where we share a lot of these miracles and lots of the questions, is said, heal yourself, heal the world. We call it contagious healing for a good reason. Because as Bridget has been taking care of herself, her husband became interested. And then by going to buy the Moong bean ingredients, again, the ripples of the miracles are happening all around. So Bridget, fantastic. That's so cool. Oh, it makes me so happy. Wow, so beautiful. Ah, going because I wasn't going to talk about this until a little bit later, but I'm giving everyone right now the recipe, because one of the optional activities for the Miracle Experiment game, we're going to be doing a 7-day Mung detox cleanse. And what a great thing to do during any time of the year, but especially during the holiday season. You're going to feel so good. You're going to be feeling so good. And we're going to start that next week. But like Bridget was going to get the ingredients, I just want you to have a heads up to have the ingredients in place if you want to opt into this experience. And we'll talk a little bit more about it, but it's amazing what can happen in only 7 days. Actually, since we're on this, has anyone else on the call done the 7-day? I know many of you have done a 30-day or different thing, but anyone else done a 7-day Moong detox challenge? And you can share what happened as a result. Arshia, you want to share what happened for you?
Namaskar, good evening. I have done, hello, I have done the 30 days, I believe 2 to 3 times by now. And I did the 7 days, which was last month, I believe. It was just absolutely great, higher energy. It's just easier to prepare to eat. Easy digestion, that gives you high vibration and easy to get up in the morning. That's how I feel. Of course you will lose weight too.
Yeah, it's interesting because I love it. Even I see Mike Smith is on this call. Mike, I don't know if you're positioned to turn your video on. He lost weight, but his girlfriend, who didn't want to lose weight, didn't lose weight. In fact, I don't know, I don't think she gained weight, but she just stayed the same weight. So it actually just helps you become your ideal weight, but with lots of energy. In fact, Mike, we got to share. I'm going to share with everyone your video because it's so powerful. And I love that you're being a part of this Miracle Experiment experience, Mike. But can you share a little bit for people who this first time ever hearing about Moong and Moong soup? Like, why is this optional activity? I say it looks like a miracle happens, but it's based on a science. And Moong is one of those things. It's like so awesome what this soup and what Moong beans and all the ingredients in it does to you. But Mike, can you just give a short version for people who have never heard before of Mung bean soup, why the 7-day, what it did for you and what it might happen for them?
Are you saying mung bean or lung bean? I thought it was lung bean.
Actually, speaking of that, I was giving a presentation one time and the person in the back says, I thought you were saying moon, like, that night, the moon, the full moon that's happening right now. I thought you were saying moonbeams. And I was like, holy smokes, Clint is making moonbeam soup.
and then you try and find it online, and there's 3 different spellings for it. And then you go to an Indian grocery store, and they know exactly what you're talking about. But then there's like 4 different types. There's yellow mung bean, there's green mung bean, there's split mung dal. There's this is not an easy journey. Do not embark on this journey if you are faint of heart.
Well, we've done one thing, hopefully, to make it a little bit easier. I'm going to show you real quick. We created a website where John DeLees did this. It's so cool. And you just go to myancientsecrets.com/recipe, and it brings up the same recipe that's in the book. In fact, it's just loading right now because I have a Zoom it's on, but the same recipe that's on page 173 in the book. But it actually hyperlinks to all the ingredients on Amazon. So these same ingredients that are here, actually, I'll just show you real quick. So the same ingredients that you can find on page 173, they're all hyperlinked. So in
that's great.
Amazon, and it also, when you buy through the link, it donates more money to the orphan kids. So as a part of the Miracle Experiment experience, the amount that you donated benefits these orphan kids in Nepal. Also, we have an affiliate relationship with Amazon where a certain portion goes to benefit the kids, and we tried to tag the best organic stuff. You can get it cheaper. I'm going to tell you, you can get it cheaper if you go to the Indian store. Sometimes you can get it cheaper from Whole Foods, but if you just want it simple and easy, you can just go there, click on the links, order it all, and it shows up within your home before next Sunday. So Mike, coming back to you, you want me just to give them your video, or you want to share a little bit about what happened?
Well, I don't know. The video would be fun. I haven't seen that in some time, but it's good to see everybody. And I would say one thing, to make sure you get organic. They have both types, and it's like 25 cents more for the organic, and so worth it. Go all the way.
Beautiful. Okay, what I'll do is I'll share your video actually next Monday. We're going to play your video. I'll send it to people in advance, but in preparation, because I just wanted this to be a placeholder, because Bridget entering the space, sharing about her miracles, and one of them talking about mung bean soup. I want to make sure everyone has the ingredients in time, so I'm putting the link there. And Jody Curtis, I'm on day 2 of Only Mung. Mike, you look amazing. That's awesome, Jody.
Well, thank you.
And I want to welcome everyone that's on the call. I see everyone put where you're from. It's so fun. Chris from Baldwinsville, New York. Jerome from Tigard, Oregon. Carol from Texas. Shaylin, I love you're on this call, from Ogden, Utah. Stephanie from Provost, Quebec. Nandita from Toronto. Kathy from Little Rock, Arkansas. Jody from Joshua Tree, California. Isabella from Taylor, Texas. Oh, Chris, you had a miracle today. I definitely want to hear that. Jenny from San Luis Obispo. Lori Ludke from Takasaki, Japan. Lori, can you pronounce that for me? I want to make sure I get that one right. Takasaki. Wait, say it again.
Takasaki.
Takasaki. Oh, Takasaki.
Taka-K, you said first, and that's where I teach. So you kind of got it right.
Beautiful. You're teaching in Japan and joining us from there. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu.
Yoroshiku onegaishimasu.
Yeah. What's so exciting is the Japanese book is almost completed. The translation's done, so we're just in the process of proofreading it. Cindy from Ivorytown, Connecticut. Tia, Springfield, Missouri. Susan, okay, you're gonna have to pronounce this one for me, Susan, darling. Okay.
Tehachapi.
Okay, good. I'm learning all kinds of new ones. Tehachapi, California. Michelle, welcome from Tucson. I know not to say Tucson, at least I know that one. Amanda from Dixon. Jana from Atlanta. Elena from Italy. Welcome, Elena. Anita from okay, Anita, you're gonna have to help me with this one.
Mequon.
Okay. Mequon. And Gary, Monroe, Michigan. Joseph, Seattle, Washington. Margarita from Albuquerque. So funny. Imagine meeting Albuquerque for the first time. Like, I don't know. You must hear, Margarita, so many people trying to pronounce that. Georgia from St. Louis, Missouri. Padmalaya, Cleveland, Ohio. Rajani from Mumbai, India. Lydia, Cedro from Cedro Woolley, Washington. So beautiful. Beverly, Alberta. Valerie from New York. Chris. Oh, and then everyone else is just putting in. There's a lot of people also watching this recording. Oh, Lynn from Bellingham, Washington. And I think I may have missed a couple. Maureen from Connecticut. Marianne from Ontario, Newmarket, Ontario. Belva, oh, you just got the mung bean recipe. Fantastic. And you got the ingredients in the mail today. Awesome. From Jefferson City. Nancy from Damascus, Maryland. I don't know the first name, Azus, but from Chicago. Azucena? Azucena, that's such a beautiful name. How do I pronounce that?
Azucena.
Azucena. Wow, from Chicago. What's the origin of that name, Azucena?
Castilian.
Castilian. Wow.
Yeah, from Spain.
Beautiful.
An Easter lily in the tradition when it means purity. So the Virgin Mary is usually Azucena is the Easter lily. So the Virgin Mary is usually presented with the lilies, which is with Azucenas.
Wow. So that's what it means.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm grateful in this space. We're blessed with the purity and the beauty of you.
Oh, you're so kind. Thank you. I am blessed on meeting all of you too, especially you. Thank you.
Yeah, well, I just really feel like as you spoke that, everyone on this call, you have a gift. There's one quote in the book that I love. It's from actually Pablo Picasso. Let's see if I can find it real quick. I think it's the beginning of chapter 14, actually. And it just struck me as you were speaking. It says, Pablo Picasso says, the meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose in life is to give it away. And that's so beautiful. And so, yeah, on this call today, what if in this next period of time, this next half hour that we have all together, and then the 45 minutes those have their pod meeting on this call, what if you discover more of your gift? What if one of the miracles that happens on this call, we all have programming inside of us. Dr. Ram, he talks about it in the book, actually. He says all of us have been programmed from so many different places. One thing I love about these ancient secrets and about this miracle experiment experience is it points you back to yourself and to the true you beyond any of the programming. And in fact, the second optional activity that we have as a part of this miracle experiment experience, one that we've never done before, is having a day of silence. And I'm going to share a little bit more about that later. I want to welcome Dr. Susan from LA. I love that you're here. And man, so many beautiful messages you sent me this week that have really touched my heart. Isabella, not sure if the German translation is out already, but I'm happy to proofread it for you if you like. Oh, Isabella, it's so cool. Can you put your contact information and Cornelia can contact you? The German translation is almost completed. We're so close, and there's many things around each of the translations where we're building it out. But the miracle of that happening this last week to get it in Russian, to get the cover in Russian, Romanian team is almost completed. Farsi, we just heard on Sunday, the Farsi translation is completed. And then Spanish is like one of the next ones that will be launched. It's just so cool. And there's a lot in addition to the book that needs to be translated around it. And miracles happen in your life when you help in this way, when you serve in this way. Carol from Placer, I want to say Placerville. Carol, did I say that right? Placerville, California.
Placerville.
Placerville. Okay, I want to make sure I got that right.
It's up in California gold country, and placer means like a huge deposit of gold or something like that.
Oh, good. I like that. We can call this the Placer Miracle Experiment experience, because there's a huge deposit of gold just waiting for you to mine in this space. And the ancient secrets will help you discover that that's been there all along. Have you guys heard the story of the largest mine that was ever discovered, diamond mine? Have you guys heard this story already? Just because you brought this to my attention, Carol, so beautifully. There's a really impactful story I'm going to share with you right now about this man who he grew up on this, he was living on this farm and he's mining the land, and he just wasn't satisfied. So he says, I just want to go out and find my fortune in the world. And so he traveled the whole world searching for gold, searching for diamonds, searching for his fortune. And then basically it was so crazy because the same week that he died penniless in a foreign country, that exact same week, in the property that he was living on the whole time, and this is a true story, that same week they discovered the largest diamond mine on the planet on his own property. And he was searching outside of him so much, everything, going all over the world searching for something, and then just realized or all along was right under his feet, and through this miracle experiment experience, asking yourself every day, what do I want? A question that it's surprisingly how rare we've asked ourselves that question in our lives, and how difficult it is. Anyone find it difficult? I'm just curious. For me, it was difficult, but raise your hand to actually discover what you want. Mm-hmm. Yeah. For some people it's easy, but for a lot of us, what a crazy thing that's a difficult question to answer. But in the process, I believe that you'll uncover that diamond mine, that placer, that gold, uncovered gold resource. Carol, did I get that right? Placer, what that means? Okay, good. Beautiful. Charmini, Charmini, I was just thinking about you. We were just talking about you today. Just talking about how we miss you so much. Charmini coming in from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
Wow.
Thank you.
Charmini, how are you doing? What's present for you? Any miracles you've seen this week?
It's like I've come back into myself after a couple of months of mourning, grieving, I suppose. It's like now I'm getting into my normal routine, which I used to do before, my meditation, my exercise. mung bean soup. Back on it. I'm gonna keep on it for a month at least. So that it's great. I'm just coming back to myself.
You know, Charmaine, it's a miracle you're here, actually, literally. And Cornelia, Carol, Jaina, they can confirm it. Literally hours ago, I told them I needed to connect with you and that I was going to have a call with you. And I hadn't even reached out to you. And I had no idea you're going to be on the call today. It makes me so happy. Yeah, so beautiful. Cornelia, wasn't I just telling her, just I was telling you and Carol and Jane just earlier that I needed to connect with Charmaine. I don't know if you can unmute, but yeah, she's nodding. So beautiful, Charmaine. So let's connect a little bit more later, but even the fact that you're here is a beautiful gift. Oh, now she is unmuted. Cornelia?
Yes, that is so typical miracle stuff happening here. We are talking about someone and someone just shows up, or people showing up on calls they are not supposed to be. And it's just like, I'm fascinated all the time.
Yeah, we have that happen where we're having a totally unrelated call, but I literally write down, I need someone to help translate the German or something. And then on the random call, someone shows up that's able to help with that thing. You know, it's just happening over and over and over again. So beautiful. Okay, Charmaine, thank you for being part of my miracle today. I want to go to, we're gonna cover one particular principle and we're gonna talk about the optional activity. But first of all, I want to give a moment where if you've had a miracle happen this week, you know, or today, I want you to have a chance to share it. And so Chris, I saw that you had put that in the chat. So I want to give you a chance to share. And then I'm excited for you to hear Rajani, her to share. And if you have something you want to share, I just want you to, we'll have a couple shares along this line. And then in your pod, you'll have more chance to share. So if you don't get a chance in the big group, no problem. But Chris, can you share? Well, I'm curious, what happened for you?
Pretty exciting. I don't know who knows, but I work with individuals with special needs. And a few weeks ago, my boss reached out to me and asked me if I would take on a new person. And I went back and forth and I said, yes. And it's wonderful, wonderful match and family. So a couple weeks have gone by. And I shared the book with them, so that's exciting. But today I woke up and I got a text from my boss, and she says, you know, log in and read your email. So the head of our company that I work for went down to Albany and really rallied to raise the pay of the workers in our company. So we're all getting a raise starting December 11th, which is like
Awesome.
So exciting.
I love that. It's so beautiful, Chris. I can tell how much, I can feel in your words how much that means to you, but can you tell, what does that raise mean to you? Like, what's the meaning of that for you?
I mean, I know, you know, I talk with Dr. Steve a little bit about what do I want. And I told him I want to help people. And I do that in my job. And it's just nice to be recognized a little bit more for it now.
Yeah, it's a way of saying we value you, you know, and how cool to be able to be doing what you want and to see abundance in it. Anyone else, like, you know, part of the trouble with asking what you want is you're afraid, first of all, that, I don't know, like there's something funny that happens where we choose to do things sometimes because we think that we need to, rather than it's what we want, you know, and that's okay to do that way. But I just want to acknowledge, Chris, if you're a microcosm of the macrocosm, and that by choosing to serve people and love people in this way, and then the reflection happening within the container of this miracle experiment experience is that more abundance is coming, this financial miracle is coming, then awesome. For all of us on this call, we can celebrate. And so in this moment, I just want you to put your hands together like this. And as you're sending Chris love just feel that we're celebrating this for her and for all of us. We love you. I love you, and we're with you.
Thank you so much.
Beautiful. Cool. Who wants to celebrate that Chris is a microcosm and macrocosm for all of us as we align with our purpose, that we can trust that more abundance is going to flow to us? Who wants to just anchor that in our lives? So to anchor it in, you just take your right hand, and on your left, I just want to anchor this in for anyone who wants this. This is a marma. This is one of the ancient secrets that normally I don't share, but just I want to anchor this kind of stuff in when it comes. So you take your right hand, and on your left shoulder, right by your heart, you just tap pretty solid 6 times. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just to anchor in that abundance can come when you're aligned with your path. Beautiful. Thank you, Chris. Belva, please, Belva, and then we'll go after Belva to Rajani. Please, I want to hear what's the miracle you saw this week.
Well, for some months now, my husband and I have been thinking about getting a new car. We were at a conference in Portland, and somebody broke the back window and the front window. And then in October, my husband passed away unexpectedly. And so I've been trying to decide what I was going to do with my car. And I suddenly decided that I didn't really need to sell it, I didn't think, but I took it into the garage, and the guy there said, no problem, the car's in good shape. Took it to the tire shop. They said, there's nothing wrong with the tires, you're good. I took it to the body shop, and he was talking about the windows and some other miscellaneous things, and said, well, it's only going to cost you about $1,300. And it was like, whoa, $1,300, okay. So I just put it out there to the universe that I needed some way to pay for the car so that I wouldn't have to get a new car. And the next morning I went to my bank account, and the IRS had taken $1,250 out of my account when my husband passed for Social Security. And that morning they had put back in $1,245 into my account. And so I was only off by about $50. And to me, that was a miracle.
Oh, I felt the emotion of that, because I also felt your husband in that. You know, it wasn't just that money came, but the way in which it came.
Absolutely.
You know? That is really beautiful.
There you go. Thank you.
So powerful. Thank you for sharing that. And Rajani, we just had a call. It was so beautiful. You know, as Belva, I don't know why, but as you were speaking, for you, Belva, and also, I don't know why, but I feel like there's people on the call. There's some reason why I'm sharing this right now, and I don't know why. And usually I don't share this right now, but many of you who are now as participants will come in future Miracle Experiment games, and you'll be mentors. You'll be some of the mentors, like the pod leaders, the miracle mentors. And there's magic that happens in both ways. As a participant, it's so exciting. And as mentors, sometimes the miracles are magnified. And we just had the training call before this call began. And man, these mentors just touched my heart so much. It was so beautiful. We actually did 3 minutes of silence together to drop from our head to our hearts. And then right after, I says, what's present for you? And I'm going to put some people on the spot just because I want you to hear it from their mouths. But Jerem, can you just share what was present for you? It just touched my heart. It was so beautiful.
Yeah, sure. Well, I feel like the ancient secrets, the book, the connection with Dr. Naram and Siddha Veda, and the people in our community are what I've been waiting for my whole life. There's a pureness of intention and love that I felt similar things in my life and different connections and communities, but this is just way beyond what I could ask for. It's just so heart-opening, and if I can live my life with my heart open to this extent, there's nothing more I can ask for. So grateful, so grateful.
It's so beautiful. First of all, it says a lot about who you are, Jerem. You know, isn't it say a lot about who he is? That his whole life he's been wanting to live with his heart this open. And then it just to be in this space in which it's possible and you're recognizing and leaning into it and serving. And I just want to say, Jerem, I love you and I'm with you. I'm so grateful for you.
Love you, and I'm with you, Clint.
Beautiful. Who wants to have more men in their life that are like Jerem? I just want to see you raise your hand if you want to have more men in your life like this. Powerful, awesome, dynamic, strong. Yeah, he's such an example of the strength that comes through open heart, you know, the power of that. So thank you, Jerem. So cool.
Totally my pleasure.
Yeah. Also on the call, we had Susan and Joseph share. And because Susan had to, she's a miracle mentor for the Sunday call, I'm going to have her share on Sunday, her and Joseph. But man, what they shared. And it's like Joseph, I'll just have you unmute yourself for a moment. But it's so cool as a married couple, you know, to be in this space. And in this particular moment, I just want to highlight Joseph, because as Susan shared like this, literally, it's a powerful miracle, but it was so grounding. It's not the kind of miracle that's airy fairy. It was like so embodied, you know, and I don't want to, it's just like, I'm trying not to give anything away, but as she shared this new experience of just her being changing, I just turned to Joseph and I just asked Joseph, what does that feel like to have your wife share that? I don't know. Oh, it looks like he had to leave the call too. They're mentors, but what he said was so beautiful. And maybe Jeremy, you can just say the first words that came out of his mouth when he's talking about his wife.
He says like a dream come true.
Yeah, so cool. It was like, in this moment, you could feel his love for her. And her miracle was, man, I'm getting like tingles in my whole body right now. Her miracle was worthy of like celebrating. And then in that moment, you could feel his love for her and that love they have for each other, because for him to see this happening in her life. And he said, since she's read the book, something shifted in her, something changed in her. And he's like, it's a dream come true to see someone that I love so much, to be having this experience of joy, of possibility, of abundance. Wow. So financial miracles, relationship miracles. And then right after that, Rajani says, I got to share a miracle that's happened for me. And Rajani, it's just too beautiful. So in this space, can you share a little bit about what's happened for you? And then I see Arshia, you've raised your hand too. So I'll have you speak too. Rajani.
Yeah, so I actually on Sunday I had gone to Ayush Shakti, and before I had always had a problem of selling my house. It's like for 3 years, 4 years, more than that, I was trying to sell my house, but it was not getting sold because of many problems that were there. So Sunday I'd gone to Ayush Shakti, and because it was a Sunday, everyone was really busy in doing everything inside. So I was alone in the reception. So there's a big photo frame of Dr. Naram. And usually when I enter the clinic, in my mind, I say namaste and thank you for everything. And I just be there. But this Sunday, I just went near the photo frame and there was a stool there. So I sat down on the stool and I said, today, Dr. Naram, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to get up till you solve my problem. And I kept complaining and complaining and complaining. I said, all over the world, you help so many people. I never asked for anything till now. But, you know, I have this problem. I kept on complaining about all the problems that I have and this problem of my house not getting sold for such a long time. So I just kept sitting there and I was feeling very sad, very dejected, and I didn't know what to do. So after like 20 minutes, suddenly the phone rang, you know, and the phone rang and one person who had seen my house had come to visit the house. He said, I'm interested in buying your house. I didn't react actually. I was so stunned, you know, suddenly a phone coming and this person saying, I'm interested in buying a house. And it's like all property dealers, everybody had given up. They said, ma'am, sorry, your house has this problem, this problem, this problem. Nobody is interested because for the same rate, you get many houses. So they said, sorry, sorry, sorry. For a long time, I've been hearing this sorry, you know, for 3 years. So I'd given up. So I thought, okay, now it's no hopeless. And I just sat there and I told Dr. Naram all my problems. I said, today you will solve my problems. Otherwise, I won't get up. I'm going to be sitting here. And after 20 minutes, this phone rang and this person said, I'm interested in buying. It's such a miracle. I was really very stunned. I didn't react first. I thought, how is it possible? I'm just talking to Dr. Naram and this is happening. I was really, really, really first time such a big miracle happening. And actually this time on this miracle call, mentoring call, on the third day, I wrote the intention in the book. I would show you. Third day, I wrote the intention that I want my house to be sold. The third day, yeah. So here I wrote, I'm so happy and grateful that I have got the token money for selling Yasmin Villa today. Third day, and today is the 8th day. And it really happened, For the first time, I wrote it down. I just didn't think, I wrote it down and it worked. And it really worked. And I'm so grateful to you and Dr. Naram for actually, first time my total 100% faith in Dr. Naram has come. Total 100% faith.
Well, first of all, I want to acknowledge you, Rajani. It's so beautiful, for actually doing it. Each day she's actually writing it down, and she followed. And there's some instructions in the journal about how to write down what do you want, and the way that you write it down is as if it's already happened and you're grateful for it. So it gives a little bit of instruction how to do that. But I wanted to share on this call, she did exactly that. She says, I'm grateful that the money for this, she named the property, has already come. That is crazy that in the first week, you did that on the third day. We're on the 7th or 8th day. I can't remember exactly, but within the short period of time this happened. And the other part of the miracle, I want to say, Rajani, that photo was put up, it was put up after Dr. Ram's passing. And I believe, Rajani, you know of me through Jack Canfield, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
So I just noticed this picture in my phone the other day. It's a picture where Jack Canfield was visiting me in India. There's Milo in front of him, and you can see that picture of Dr. Naram behind. I don't know if you can see it right there.
Yeah, yes.
But there's Jack Canfield, Milo, and Dr. Naram right in that same space where you sat down and complained in front of him. That is amazing. It's so beautiful. Oh, thank you, Rajani. So beautiful.
Thank you so much.
I guess today there's a lot of financial miracles happening. So let's anchor that in even more. You just take your right hand and on your left hand, anyone who wants to, when you're aligning yourself with your purpose, when you're actually getting clear on what you want, that the universe responds in such a way that there's abundance, just go ahead and hit here pretty solidly 6 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Very good for anyone that wants to anchor that in. Arshia, please.
Wow, I'm so joyful. Congratulations, Rajni. It's just awesome. And your story, was it on Sunday or last Monday about the bird? Was it? I told everybody. And I came to know more about it, that some birds like that are in Iran, exactly the coral that they even start speaking to people. I thought it's only parrots, but so your story is going all around, Rajni. Just wanted to let you know. And I just, oh my God, miracles just happening. And as I put in my journal, I just want to hold everyone in this group in my heart and their families and keep them in light and vibration and love. Oh my goodness, I got to see, after the call, I got to see Devan and Danny, which I was thinking of him after our course was over, the 100 days. And it was like, yay, it was a gift to me. It was just such a miracle to see him, know of him and his family and see his smile. And he's becoming such an inspiring healer. Yeah. And he touched the people he was supposed to on that call. And that was a miracle. And today, in my part, I wanted to acknowledge Maya, Nandita's daughter. She came on the call this last Monday a little and looked and said hello, and I just fell in love with her. And I wanted to say, Nandita, let Maya know that Aunt Arshia is looking forward to say hello. Oh my God, and here she sends me a message. Arshia, Maya is standing here pointing to you and saying hello. And tears of joy just came to my eyes. It's just, I love you. I love you, and this is your aunt here, Maya. That I take it as a big miracle. Love you. Love you, honey. Thank you. Just wanted to share it. Just so joyful. Thank you, Dr. Clint. Thank you. And Dr. Noram is so busy for asking.
She made a picture for you, Arshia, for NT Arshia.
The whole day I'm thinking of you, Maya.
NT Arshia with doggies, with animals. There you go.
And Yogi sitting here pressing on my leg when Dr. Clint is talking to me. He doesn't let me speak. He just, when he hears Dr. Clint's voice, is just
Yogi there?
pushing. Yogi is here, and he pressed my leg so much when you asked about Moong Dal. I couldn't speak to you.
For those that don't know, Yogi is Arshia's dog, and he's like one of the best students of Ancient Secrets. Beautiful. Thank you, Arshia. Amazing, amazing.
Thank you so.
Oh, sorry about that. I muted you a little bit too quick, but thank you. Leah, so glad you joined us. I just want to, I want you to just be present on this call because you entered this space and so many miracles have been happening. And already just on this short half-hour call, I want to make sure you get a chance to listen to the recording, but can I share with you some of the ones people have shared so far?
Yes, and I'm so sorry. We, my husband and I are in Sedona for our 20th anniversary, and we just.
Oh, congratulations!
I was like, I've got to hop on my call. I'm late for my call.
Oh man, you're bringing us into your anniversary. That's so cool. That's such a good idea. What's your husband's name?
Cody.
Cody, very good to meet you. I can't wait to meet you in person.
Oh, it's nice to meet you as well. That'd be amazing.
How long have you been married for?
20 years.
20 years. Ah, fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I only know a little bit, so I'm just going to share, but this is a couple who has been through so many transitions and grown together through it all. You know, on average, that, you know, most relationships, most marriages, like a crazy high percent end after 2 years, you know? So the fact that you've been through 20 years and through so many iterations and so many transformations and so many, you know, lots of people, one person, I really liked his definition of growth or of what happens in the space because you occur to yourself differently. Basically, that's when a miracle happens, when you occur to yourself differently. Just on the call, we were talking about Susan, and from reading the book and joining the Miracle Experiment game, she's one of the mentors now. She's occurred to herself so differently and loving herself in a way that she finds so much joy. And when I asked her husband, how does that feel? He says it's a dream come true. You know, it was so beautiful to see that love between each other. And so thank you for introducing us in this space.
Yeah, thank you for saying hello. And I'm so sorry I'm late. We actually just got done we flew in and we had a quick couples massage, and I thought it was an hour, but it was an hour and a half. I had scheduled it to be on this call on time, but I was wrong on the time. So that's my bad. Sorry.
Good. Well, you're welcome on this call. I just give you a quick summary. Belva shared such a beautiful miracle story about how, you know, her husband had just passed away. They were going to sell their car. Her husband passed away. She didn't know how to handle the repairs, went to the repair shop. Basically, Belva, just correct me if I'm wrong, but found out that the repairs were going to come to something like just over 1,200, something like almost 1,300, and didn't know how she was going to pay for it. And she just put it in the universe. You know, if this is meant to be, then do it. And she'd been following the principles of the Miracle Experiment game. I don't know, Belva, how many was it? A couple of days later? I don't know if you're still able to.
Sorry, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, was it a couple of days later that happened?
The next morning. The very next morning.
The next morning, the IRS sent her that amount of money within $50 that came because they'd taken it for her husband, and the fact that he had passed away, now it went back to her. And just the way that happened was so beautiful. It's amazing. Yeah, it was amazing. Rajani just shared amazing where she'd been trying to sell her house for 3 years. Literally had written in her journal on the third day of this Miracle Experiment experience, that's what she wanted, was at the clinic of Dr. Naram and sat in front of his picture and actually, I love this part, she complained to him. I don't know how long she was there for, but she was like saying, I've been doing this and you're not helping me and I'm not going to leave until a solution came. And it was literally 20 minutes later, after even her real estate agents had given up hope, the phone call came and where someone says, I'm very interested in your property. We need to meet and talk about it. It was so cool. Also, Chris Caswell talking about, in this whole experience, a miracle came where she's been trying to serve. She wants to serve. That's what she wants. And one of the families, she got a new client, and then the person who represents her went to bat and actually made it so that she got a significant raise that starts on December 11th, which is so cool. Yeah,
That's awesome.
So what we're doing, I wasn't planning on this, but in the space of this call, we're anchoring in that when you align with your purpose, abundance comes. And so we've been doing a Marma together, but thank you, Leah, for letting me presence that with you and review this thing.
Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing that with me.
Yeah, so now we're going to Susan. We'll find out what's the miracle happening for you. And then right after Susan, I'm going to just talk about one of the optional activities, and then what is the principle I wanted to focus on this week, and then we'll go into our breakout room. So Susan. Can you unmute yourself, Susan? Dr. Susan? Let's see here.
Hi. Are you talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking.
Because there's more than one Susan. I wasn't sure.
It's so true.
How's everything? I'm very touched with all the stories I can hear. It's amazing.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys remember Dr. Susan sharing her story, not this Sunday, but last Sunday, where she teaches at a university and she teaches, I don't know if it's a medical university, but they teach people that are becoming healers in different ways, acupuncture and all kinds of stuff. And she actually discovered the book in the room where the interns are. Do you guys remember this story? Who heard this story before?
Well, actually, I would like to take this opportunity. Thank you, Arshia. Finally, I met her today, because that book was signed by Arshia to Dr. Brady Chen.
That is amazing. That is so fun.
I said, oh my God, is this Arshia? I should sign her, especially.
Arshia, did you know that? You knew that this was the book?
Yes, Hayam said, when he heard, Hayam said, that is the book you gave to Yusan University. I gave to Dr. Chen Brady. Yes,
but I was looking to find you, and thank you. I said, oh my God, that's amazing.
I do thank you.
That's so cool. So for those that don't know the story, Susan saw it in the intern room and she just picked it up and started reading it. And then even though it was signed to someone else, she stuck it in her bag and says, I promise I'll bring this back. But she just wanted to make sure she had that in her life.
I still have it.
Oh, good.
That's good. I'm so happy. And there's Arshia's signature. I asked Dr. Brady the other day, don't you forget this is the signature you had signed for me. And I said, oh yeah. I said, do you know Arshia? He said, yes. It was one of my patients or something. I said, do you remember she gave you a book? And I have the book in case you're looking for it. But I kept it till I buy my own and I return it back to the internet.
I want you, Susan, I want you to keep that, and I signed in the back, so when you see Dr. Clint, he can sign the front for you. Yeah. I purposely did that, and I will get him another one. Not to worry, I have the books here.
No, I should return this back. I feel bad.
That's meant to be for you, and I'm so grateful. This is a miracle.
And you know the amazing thing, I feel like the way the book was there, I was the first person to touch that book, and nobody even. And I guess I have it everywhere with me. A little bit kind of got ruined, but I am the one who took it in fact, and that was meant to be for me in that room.
Exactly.
Meant to be meet with you guys and continue my mission in another new path that is all complementary to one another. The
funny thing is, he said, is the secrets really in it? And I said, yes, it's the only book that the secrets are in it. And he actually wants the audiobooks. So I will gift him an audiobook. Please keep this one. Thank you.
God, he's gonna kill me up.
Well, that is amazing. My cheeks now are hurting so much. I'm gonna have
to. Arshia, are you from Iran?
بله عزیزم شما مال ایرانی.
See, there you go.
میدونستم. And I think you have helped Ralph in USAN University before. Ralph is one of our students so I will talk to you, Susan.
Okay,
خوشحال
sure, no
شدم.
problem.
مرسی عزیزم.
همونطور خوشحال
مرسی.
شدم. قربون شما. ممنون.
This is remarkable on so many levels. Literally, Dr. Susan asked me, has anyone already translated the book into Farsi? Because she wanted to do it, and already it's been done by Afsana, and then Arshia is one of the ones that's helped translate the bonus videos. But how
I
amazing.
will be delighted to do the audiobook if you want to.
Good, we'll talk more about it. Now, thank you, Arshia.
Sure.
I'm so conscious of, we want to get people in their breakout room, but what a powerful miracle. And when you have an impulse of love, you never know. I just on the call on Sunday, Joe was talking about how he's getting a lot of the books to give us Christmas gifts, but you never know who actually benefit from it.
Exactly.
Just shortly, it was so beautiful. Some of the messages you said, you're coming back to yourself and back to your purpose. And can you share anything about maybe just shortly, one of the miracles that have been happening in your life as a result?
Yes, let me tell you an extraordinary experience. Around 6 years ago, when I opened up a beautiful clinic in Santa Monica, and I was teaching at the college, 2 colleges. I was running my clinic, but all of a sudden I had an inner voice telling me after I lost my mom and my brother due to medical mistake, go back home. Like after 40 years, I decided to go back to Iran because I am Iranian Canadian. Then I moved to US, continue my graduate school, and I stayed here. So I just had a feeling I owe something to my country-made, and I like to go back. So, and I was invited there to go start the naturopathic and oriental medicine program in there. But by the time I went back, president, the government changed, and every promise is forgotten. So what I did, I decided, okay, if I can pursue the educational part of my mission here, I like to go and help the people to the areas of underprivileged villages in south of Iran. So I happened to get few volunteers from medical school, which one of them was my niece, and we went to Desful, which is one of the cities in south of Iran. And there was 3 villages we were assigned to go, and I treated within the 2 days over 300 people. And it was no places to do it, and we had to use the mosque to put the females and male patient in 2 separate parts of the mosque and start treating them. If the Ministry of Health was letting us to continue, we would have treat thousands of people, but we end up after the 2nd day, on 3rd day, end up to the police station because all the media, TV, papers, they came to interview that somebody from America came volunteering and helping the people in here that they had no privilege of having medical assistance. So that was really disappointing for me that they stopped us doing it because they don't care for the people. They don't care for their health. They just care to highlight themselves, not anybody else at the site. Although we had the permission and we had supported from the group that they call Jihad, which is part of the government thing, but they are always competing together. So that was very disappointing for me that although I like to put my time, my energy to help the people who are in needs, somebody, some group, some government system stopping me. And then after that, COVID started, and I felt like very much decided to go into my cave. And I moved to north of Iran, rented a small apartment. I just was kind of aside from everybody because I thought, okay, if I can be useful, that's not me. So I spent last 2 years there just thinking, well, how can I help? And then with all the disappointment, I decided to come back to US because when I can be useful, I can breathe, I can be alive. I came back and just started. I came back September the 15th. I had to spend 2 weeks of quarantine in Toronto before I come to US as a Canadian. Another 2 weeks quarantine in LA. So I was just beginning of October start working because I used to work for them. I got a job offer as a faculty member and clinic supervisor. I started working in these two colleges, Emperor's College and Yilson. That the first week I started to work, I got this book. And when I was reading through the book, like I finished it within 3-4 days. I couldn't stop reading it. I was crying. I was seeing Dr. Nuram as like my father, that I never felt that connection with in front of me, especially when I listen every day to that unstoppable video, audio of him. When he says, my child, my heart starts beating. Oh my God, I got a father who looks after me. I never heard that. After I lost my mom, I felt so lonely that there is one pure love I had and I lost in my life. And that was a miracle for me. And I thank you. Thank you, Asha. Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't feel alone anymore now. I joined to a community that they are all like-minded. And this is good. And I'm not alone. Then on that mission, as I told you, I texted you today, we have our mission coming to this life. And no matter in what path you go, as long as you can be helpful and you can share your pure love and conditional love with others, that's what like a battery energizing me, which I missed it for the last 2 years. And I thank you so much.
Dr. Susan, so beautiful. I didn't know any of that story, but I want to say welcome home. Welcome to this family. Because it's not a, I talked about on Sunday call, there's different structures in the world. There's government structures, there's religion structures, there's business structures. This is none of those. This is actually a structure of the heart. Dr. Ram, he said this is he calls it a Shraddha Kendra, a temple of the heart, in which those who are attracted to that vibration are going to come and to be able to serve in this way. On Sunday call, I talked about Roma Rishi. I see he's on this call right now, and he has such a purity of intention to be of service for humanity. And how cool. Dr. Naram, he talked about being with Mother Teresa and Mother Teresa getting angry at him. Why did you not meet me sooner? How many people we could have helped together? And she talked about hugging people and their pain would go away for 5 minutes, but then the pain would come back. So how cool to have that intention matched with these secrets in a way that we can make such a meaningful, lasting, deep difference in our own lives to start with. And as a result, it becomes contagious. And Dr. Susan, the way you spoke about Dr. Naram, and feeling held and feeling like you're being aligned and finding your place, it's so beautiful. Thank you so much. And for everyone who is on this call, I believe you're here for a reason, whether you're just a part of this community for this miracle experiment experience or you continue longer is up to your heart to decide. But for these 30 days at least, why not be committed to yourself? To let these secrets point the finger back to you. Bridget, I love the miracles she was talking about, and Rajni and everyone. How even animals start to interact with you differently. Bridget talked about the miracle of being there, and the dog just came up, a random dog, and she could just tell that dog loved her. What if as you change and you align with your purpose, the reflections happen all around you? That Atiti Devo Bhava, those moments. I loved it when I met Roma Rishi this last week. He talked about really the power these ancient masters knew, the power of feeding animals with your own hand, stray dogs or birds, you know. Rajani, who shared last week about the crows, she used to be scared of crows and hate crows. Now she loves the crows. They come, they have babies. She knows all of them and she knows them by name and misses them. And then as a result, has more of these other kind of miracles happen in her life. It connects you with yourself ultimately and with all of life. And Dr. Susan, what I hear and what you're sharing is that alignment and that wholeness and that connection. And thank you for being present and sharing that with us.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. You sent by God, and as I said, this is not just your responsibility, that's all of us responsibility to continue this path and spread the word around the world. I started making mung bean soup, giving to everyone, sending the recipe to all my patients. So I am already started to spread the message.
This is the sweet message that Dr. Susan sent me. She says, Dr. Ram was so happy to have you in his life and knew who to select very well, a remarkable human being. Just you know that this responsibility, you're not alone. We're all going to be with you. No worries. Namaskar. So beautiful. So beautiful. So now I know we're going to go into the breakout room, but talking about connecting more and more with yourself, I'm just going to read this short section from page 215 that talks about one of the optional activities about how to connect more with yourself. Now, it's optional, but basically it's this. During this 30 days, I strongly encourage you, I invite you from my heart to your heart to choose at least one of those days to be a day of silence. Now, there's two ways you can do it. One is you can completely be silent, not talk to anyone, not read anything, not watch anything, turn off all the music, the TV, everything, and just be in pure silence. That's one option. The second option is at least disconnect from all social media. Disconnect from Facebook, from Instagram, from emails, disconnect from your phone, turn your phone off the entire day, have your phone off, you know, let people know in advance. Now, if you need to for work or something, try and pick a day where you can even tell people at work, listen, I'm going to be disconnected this entire day. But actually, you won't be disconnected. I noticed in my wording, you'll be more connected with yourself than ever. It's a time to release whatever we think we have to do and go deeper into yourself about who are you really and what do you want. Page 215, basically, Dr. Ram says, I'd like you to participate in a yagna. A yagna is a ceremony or process with a specific objective. He said the focus of this one is discovering oneself by asking, who am I? Where am I going? And how do I go further, faster, and surer so that I'm fulfilled in this life? It was no mystery why he suggested I participate. I just read that because I was so clueless. You know, so much activity. That same year that I met him, sorry about that. The same year I met him, I was in 40 countries. Going so crazy all over the place, but I didn't even know who I was. Okay, I'm not going to read this whole section, but page 215, 216, 217, I encourage you, if you have some time to read those pages, because it's all about, don't chase money, Dr. Ram says. Chase great ideas, but especially align with who you are, your purpose. And when that happens, some magical things will happen. So everyone, find a date. Tell whoever is your pod. In fact, I just want to see a raise of hands. Who's interested in doing this at some point during this? I want to go for a day of silence. Beautiful. You guys are touching my heart so much. It makes me so happy. If you're not interested, no problem. Also, you're very welcome. We love you're welcome in the space, but I think this could change your life forever. So it may even be, if you want to, in your pod now, you can even tell your pod members what day you're considering doing it. Then the night before, you tell your pod, say, I'm going to do my day of silence, and then they'll all send you love during that day. And then the next day, you won't be online, so you're not going to tell them what's happening, okay? But then the day after that, you can come back and thank them for holding that space for you. And I'm really excited about what can happen, especially when a group of powerful, dynamic, amazing people like are here now in this Zoom call and participate in this miracle experiment experience. So having said that, we are going to go into our breakout rooms where you're going to have a chance to share more in depth. Right before that, I want to see if, I don't know if Roma Rishi he's back in the room or not, but just sending you so much love. The connection's coming on and off. Oh, there he is. Fantastic. Roma Rishi, anything stirring in your heart as a result of today's call?
First, let me just say I've been having trouble with my phone, so it cuts out and then it comes back on. So I haven't heard everything, but basically, we just moved into a brand new cabin on a retreat center, and it's a big change for us. We had to really wanting to have happen is for us to get settled. And we've been unpacking. Today we got a shipment of wood, so we have wood for our wood burning stove.
Oh, beautiful. Roma Rishi, it looks like the phone disconnection, the phone got separated. So we'll have you continue to share in your small group. Now, Cornelia, can you just tell us, we're about to go into the small groups, and your miracle mentors who are so amazing are going to just have an open space in which you'll be able to share more along the line and how you've been living these principles over the last week. Atiti Devo Bhava, and writing at least 3 things you're grateful for every night. Cornelia, we have the breakout rooms set up.
Yes, yes, they're all set up. I have a couple, 2 or 3 people that I don't know where they need to go. So we usually just here in the main room, and then I assign you. But
Okay,
once I know who you are.
I encourage you to really go, this time is going to go so fast, this 30 days. So I encourage you to really open your heart in this space. You know, take a leap of faith and trust these people and share really what's been happening. What has been the Aditi Devo Bhava? Yeah, we've been talking about awesome, amazing miracles, financial miracles, relationship miracles, all kinds of stuff. But maybe the Aditi Devo Bhava that showed up for you was some sadness, you know, or some discouragement or some depression or whatever it was. And I just want you to feel safe that all of you is welcome in this space. You know, like Dr. Susan was saying, you know, how good it is to feel like, I have someone in my life that can be like a father for me. And I believe that in this container of this miracle experiment experience, you have that safety, you have that space. And so just encourage you to really lead with your love, lead with your heart. And also thank you to all of the mentors who are holding that space of love. As you go into the breakout room, just remembering, I didn't come to teach you. I came to love you, and love will teach you. So Cornelia, will you open up the rooms and allow people to go?
I open up the rooms for all the mentors. Please start the recordings when you get in. And I also have, again, a group for Sunday and a group for Friday. So everyone that is here, but is normally in a small group on the other 2 days, you also have a little room where you can then have your conversations.
Yeah, good. So if you're on the Sunday pods or the Friday pods, that's where you'll meet mainly. But if you want to continue this discussion today, then there's a breakout room you can just opt into, and you can go into that space. If you get into the wrong room for some reason, just come out of your breakout room, and then we'll put you in the right room. But I love you, and I'm with you. I'm excited for you to join with your pods.
So you need to go in group 3. Okay, hold on.
And Elena, oh wow, you're awake at such an amazing time. What time is it there, Elena? 3 a.m. Unbelievable. You're unbelievable. That's amazing. Well, Elena,
Actually, I put my clock, my alarm clock on because I was sleeping. So I put it on to wake up to come here.
Amazing.
So you're normally not on this call, right? Are you normally on? No, okay.
Usually, if I can make it, but I want to see everybody today, just to enter that. And,
beautiful. Well, I think we put you on the Sunday because I think that's when your pod normally meets. So feel free to join them if you wish, as you wish. And I am going to stop the recording now. For those watching the recording, I love you. I'm with you. Excited for this next week for the Miracle Experiment experience.